Hi Sagittarius, excuse the weird lighting. This is Priscilla with Psychic ND, and I wanted to go ahead and do your reading, Sag, and this is going to be for February. So February 2021. I'm going to go ahead and use my zombie cards just because it tends to get to the nitty gritty. Let's see if you can watch the shuffle here. I'd like to know for my Sagittarius friends, what can they expect? What can they look forward to this February? A jump card already. What else can we expect? Okay. Well, you're going to think this is interesting. At least I do. My first jumper was the Three of Wands here. Give you a minute to really look at it. So this is all about waiting, playing the waiting game, cooperation, creativity, trying to get all cogs working together. You know what, excuse me for 1 second. I have to put the microphone in. I forgot that. Otherwise, wonky. So it is cooperation, maybe remembering the times when things were a little bit easier in a cooperative energy kind of a way. But right now, it's not that you don't have cooperation. I feel like almost like picking up the scraps, picking up bare bones, almost like reassessing a situation and taking a look and seeing what can be salvaged, right? That's what this big bone is. Maybe it's a femur bone, I don't know. But the zombies have this bone and they're ready to plow through this gate. Now, I do think that you are aware of what this could be that you've been waiting on. And it's very close, like you could see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is a gate that you can actually literally see everything on the other side with. And that's your goal, is to bust through this gate and make it to the other side. And I feel like a couple of energies need to line up with yours in order to make this happen, dear Sag. So right now we have the waiting game, right? The next jump card that came out was this guy. How cool is that? So we have the Three of Cups. And we have here, once again, a vibration of 3. It's cooperation, more than 2 people involved. Take a look. He's a little bit giving her the side glance. Like, yeah, you're my bride. Wait a minute, are you dead? You're a zombie bride? Okay, I'm still good with that. So it could be cooperating between a situation that maybe you thought was going to be put to death, kind of put away, or ending in some way, shape, or form. It could even be professionally, you guys. But I feel like this bride, whether it's a relationship, situationship, a person on your mind, or if this is simply a work situation, it's like you've almost given up. And then you found a reason to salvage because you found that perhaps the other person is working a little bit as well with the Three of Wands. So these things are starting to come together, and very slowly. It's like I think that you're trying to rescue a situation which you thought you had lost all hope in, perhaps, okay? And as you can tell, I'm trying to read for singles as well as relationships. It's not going to be just specifically to one person. I want everyone to be able to have a chance to get something out of the reading. And so I'll be toggling back and forth, and let me know how that works for you. So if you can please like, share, comment, subscribe, that would be awesome. Getting back to the reading. So Three of Cups, sometimes this can indicate that one other person is in the mix, okay? I'm not getting quite that feeling yet, but it is a possibility. So let's see what this leads up to. In fact, I want to move this over here. So you've been waiting for a reunion. For something to come together again when you just had thought you had given up hope on, for things to come together. It could even be a partnership, but a reconciliation as well as on there. It could be a reunion with family. I understand the things that are going on right now. So you fit it to your situation however you see fit. But this is definitely, you know, good times, maybe happy hour, trying to get together. It could be, a teleconference or Zoom of everybody trying to get into the same vibe, I guess, because you've been waiting for these energies to come. And it looks like you've been waiting for quite some time. Now, I wasn't pulling like what crosses you, but the first thing that came to mind, I'm going to show you up front, dear Sag, is the Emperor. And I feel like this energy has been what's crossing you. And it's not just about current events, about what is going on. Everyone knows. No need to talk about it. There is that of restriction. This man is like, you know what, we're going to do it my way. This is the best way to keep people safe. And there's many different ideas and attitudes about this. This could be a real person in your life. This could be symbolic. This could be an establishment or a father or a husband or significant other who definitely wants everything their way. It's my way or the highway. I know best. I'm going to defend what's mine, what is precious. And I'm going to do it at all costs, but it has to be done my way. Okay, some rigid thinking going on here. Now I want to point out, you see the hands coming out, these like little zombie hands coming out from behind the door. All of his energy is focused in the front, and it's like, no, it's my way. I know the best way. And yet he's leaving his child vulnerable to the zombies in the back. And so I just have to wonder with this energy, it's so much about like, do as I say, no, I know best. I don't want to reconsider. I've always known best. It's a very old, outmoded thinking. It could be that even if you've been married for a long time, a little while, or in a relationship, that one of you has had this mindset of this is how it has to be and no other way is acceptable. But in the meantime, people are suffering. Your loved ones are suffering, perhaps. They're left vulnerable to other elements or other things that are happening around them because you're so staunch in thinking about how things should be looking, Sag. So please be careful not to be digging in your heels. Be a little bit of flexibility in your life. A little bit of flexibility would be good. This is a vibration number 4. This is also stoic, the 4 corners of your home, 4 corners of the earth, things like that. But while you're busy defending and taking care of things as usual, you could be putting someone else, like this little guy, at risk because he's behind you and these zombies are behind. So perhaps you could be risking things that you actually have never considered before. So maybe it's a time to reassess, take a look, even if your partner or significant other is doing something like this, and kind of point things out and go, you know, honey, I realize that this is how we've always done it, but have you considered? And so maybe try to make him a little bit softer so that he can actually see what's going on, the full spectrum. Okay? Just an idea. If the storyline fits, great. If it does not, moving on. Okay? So why is the 3 of Cups here? And I'm just going to pull out the top card, the 3 of Cups. And this is a High Priestess. I should show you this before I put it up. Let's show you. So this is a High Priestess. This is my zombie deck. This is a deck that gets to the nitty gritty, dear Sag. And I'm being told right now with this card that you actually have been getting a lot of messages, or your partner has been getting a lot of spiritual messages of their own. Perhaps they're indulging a little bit in yoga, taking in some deliberate like breath work, doing some breathing, some anxiety busting, I don't know, like YouTube things. So I just reached a dead way. It's like, I don't even know how to express that, but basically you get the idea. So doing some breath work, some yoga, anything like that that's going to really help you align with your system, or your partner align with your system. That's going to help you get grounded. Now, one thing I want to point out, obviously, is this huge skull. It's monumental. Now, this person, this high priest or priestess, could have chosen to sit anywhere else, right? But right here, I'm looking at this is almost like a big horseshoe that's lit up, and there's a fire in the center, and it's like maybe you thought that things were a certain way and that you were really lucky, only to find out that luck is burning from within. Okay, and I'm not trying to laugh about that, but also maybe there's some things that you need to put to rest, put to bed, put to death in order for something else to grow. Now, I feel like this skull has some, like this hand touching his temple. You could be really prone at this point in time, dear Sag, to headaches, migraines, caused by really overthinking things, frankly. So if that's the case, you might want to consider seeing a doctor. Obviously, I'm not a medical professional. You need to see your doctor for whatever medical issues you have, but also you could be suffering from heartburn. I kind of feel like that's a little bit like heartburn, not being able to settle things within your mind, feeling like your luck is burned up, all of that. And so you're going within on a spiritual journey, but actually you are getting the messages, dear Sag. You're getting the messages that you need desperately. So I'm just going to propose to you that perhaps you need to put something to death and put it to rest once and for all in order for you to move on. I do have this big moon in the background, and that to me, obviously, it's a full moon. We just had a full moon a couple of nights ago, but as we all know, we feel the repercussions of that many days later. So it could be that even up to the next full moon, you're going to start getting even more messages and getting more centered about how to handle a situation that feels oppressive or feels maybe a little bit not fair, or more like you thought you were lucky once upon a time when you were with this emperor or whatever, this partnership, situationship, but then your luck seems to be kind of burning, going up in flames, because the same thing that was a benefit before is no longer a benefit now, because there needs to be some flexibility, okay? Now, next thing I have, dear Sag, this is the Strength card. And obviously we got some ammo going on here, a lot of ammo that we have left. So it is typically that was a vibration number 8, but this card is 11. This is all about getting clarity, and it's almost like, wow, like that clarity, whatever that dead thing is a bullet to the brain, almost like you're saying. Sag, this, if you're partnered right now, and I'm getting this confirmed with energy on my right side, which is usually the divine masculine, what I'm getting is almost kind of like your meditation and your own messages kind of blow your mind. And in that, it's almost something that you cannot unsee once you've seen that you're sitting on that carcass, whatever the case may be, whether it's a relationship you need to transform, transmute, or abandon altogether. This could be a loved one or a spouse or even a business, whatever the case may be. Whatever that big thing is that you're sitting on, that you're really contemplating and thinking of, and you're trying to kind of ignore, I feel, that needs to be dealt with. And once you deal with that, I do feel like your headaches and migraines and maybe even heartburn might be kind of going by the, might be leaving you. But again, consult your doctor. By the next full moon, I feel like you're going to have all the answers that you are seeking. It's going to blow your mind, because I feel like literally this bullet is entering this guy's brain or this person's brain. It's almost like it blew my mind. I didn't know what to think about it, Sag is saying. It's like, now what do I do? It's like a big thing. It's not a little thing. But really, big decisions are dealt with by little choices or little decisions or little tweaks in the problem. So one little step at a time might be able to help you get out of that difficulty, okay? But I feel like this, like, enlightenment, and because you're on that freeway, that highway to spirit and getting your own messages, it could be really just shocking to you, the revelations that you get. Maybe things that you should have seen all along that you refuse to see because you're sitting on that carcass, something that has long ago expired. Moving on. Dear Sag, here we go. So I am being shown that you are the great magician. I love this card. Part of the reason why I love it is not only does he have all the tools to create what he wants in his life or she wants in her life, it is a vibration of 1. It is about you having the skills, the wisdom, the know-how, willing to put the elbow grease. This person, this magician, is saying, I will straight cut off my foot if it's not good, if it's not convenient. If this doesn't adhere to the recipe, I'm going to cut it off. I'm looking at DNA. I'm looking at, I'm hearing even connections, like divine connections, even people who know people who know people, that kind of a thing, like 6-degree connection or whatever it's called. This person is willing to saw through anything to be able to manufacture or bring about what it is that they need. And here is this, I don't know, this cooking thing, whatever it is that they're making. And I feel like it's very, in a lot of ways, very spiritual. So you're looking at all the different elements that you have. He is wearing a white coat. I do feel like, obviously can symbolize, some of you guys are doctors or in the medical profession. You can even be psychologists, psychiatrists, anything like that. But you have a lot of skills at your fingertips, and it seems like you want to conquer it with merely this skill, but you need to combine your spirituality and your downloads from spirit, okay, in order to make this work, in order for this recipe, in order for you to manifest exactly what you want the way you want it. So once you decide to cut out that big thing, I think that you'll take all of your tools at your disposal, dear Sag, and go ahead and tackle it. And tackle it successfully. This magician does not mess around. They know what they want, and they go after it, and in a methodical way, and they get results. That's why there's like testers and all sorts of fun things going on here. Okay, Sag, another thing that I'm getting for some other of you is that you are in the High Priestess vibe, or High Priest. You're getting downloads and messages still, and you are taking a look at current events in the world and wondering exactly what is going on and who are behind the white coats and what is going on as far as their motive goes. What is it that they're really trying to create? And what about this DNA thing, and how does that affect what's going on with current recommendations and everything else? I'm not going to go into detail. If it fits you, you're going to know what I'm talking about. If it does not, then skip over it, no worries, okay? But you're even kind of concerned about the body count, the spiritual realm. How does this fit into the big scheme of things? And perhaps even, can this, I mean, there's so much being manifested, can this be trusted? There could be a lot of questions on your mind. It's you're going within, okay? So, moving on. That's really heavy. I didn't expect it. Let's look at Sagittarius. Let's look at your love life, okay? I'm going to go ahead and put these back in here. The other readings just jumped right into love, but this seems to be heavier energies. So Sagittarius, what do we have to know about Sag and their love life, whether they're single, whether they're married, partnered, in a situationship, whether they have their eyeball on someone, or whether they are dry as a desert, as some of us, meaning me. Okay, so Sag, what do we have going on with your love life? The Three of Wands. We're waiting. We're still waiting. We're waiting for things to change. We're waiting for cooperation. We're waiting for perhaps even the borders to open. If you're in a situation where the borders are closed, you cannot see your beloved, or your beloved cannot see you for whatever reason. If there's travel involved and you cannot make that happen due to current events, that could be another possibility of waiting. Or you're simply just waiting for current affairs to settle, to see like what is even possible. I almost get the feeling I'm just going to wait it out, because what's the point in starting anything if we can't go anywhere, or if we don't know the current events, right? So what are we waiting on? We're waiting on the Nine of Cups. We're waiting on a dream, a wish that we have, dear Sag, something that is near and dear to your heart. Look at how she's, that window over her head is like tropical. Maybe you're thinking of travel, a little vacation, staycation, somewhere warm with white sands and beautiful blue waters, perhaps. So that could be on the top of your mind. But look at how she is decked out. She's got that blue coat, and I feel like that blue, it's a very light blue. I don't like the lighting in here. I'm gonna have to fix that. But that blue is, it really speaks to me about your throat chakra. Maybe you need to speak your truth, okay? There needs to be something spoken, whether you're in a partnership, whether you're married, single, situationship, relationship, whatever, okay? Even if you have no one in mind right now, it's a little bit of like, I want my dream. I want things to kind of start coming towards me. I've been waiting, and I've been waiting for this tropical, beautiful dream of mine, but yet I'm armed. I got a rifle. I've got my ammo all around me. I've got that blue, gorcha, how do you say that in English? Blue blanket. So sorry, I blanked out on the blanket. Yeah, so a little bit of that fantasy and having that wish, and you're just looking at how long you've been waiting, Sag. Maybe you've been waiting for a really long time. That could be it as well, okay? So I want to go ahead and use these guys, Doreen Virtue, and all of this is going to be in the comment section. So why is the Three of Wands here for my Sag friends, please? We'd like to know. What are they waiting on? Playfulness. We just want to play. We want to romp. We want to giggle. We want fun times. It says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And so perhaps things are not ideal, exactly the way you want them now. I just see even like positive and negative polarities. This little girls are like highlighted in white. This guy is a little bit in the shadows and dark. And so perhaps you and your beloved are opposite. You're different. You wish that they were a little bit more playful with you to lighten up the mood. There is lush green behind you. I feel like you have a lot of history with your partner or person of interest or situationship. Even if this pertains to someone from the past, there could be that energy of things were green once upon a time, and I have like a really innocent and pure heart, dear Sag, you're saying, and you just want this person to play with you, to kind of flirt, to make you feel alive again, to make you feel beautiful or handsome, wanted, all of those things, okay? So what else can we know about the Nine of Cups? The Nine of Cups for Sag. And please let me know also, dear Sag, if you like this style of reading better. I'm just curious if you could please like, share, comment. In the comments, leave me a little note about what you think, how this style of reading went, if it's for you or not. Nine of Cups here. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So whoever you're thinking about, if you have someone in mind, this is your wish that you're looking and wishing that they would either return or return to a state of playfulness. Now, if you're currently with a partner or if you're waiting for someone from the past, it could be that, yeah, you want them to return into a state where, remember when we used to play, remember when we used to have fun, we used to love life, we used to love hanging out together and be together. I couldn't take my hands off of you. You were my everything, and now we've been married 2 months during these times, and everybody's bored, and I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm talking about, right? So do you see how these things pertain to whether you're partnered or not? It doesn't make a difference, okay? I also see a courthouse in the back. It could be, again, about a marriage we're talking about, a partnership, even a spiritual marriage. It doesn't have to be like one of those on paper. You officially went to court. If you're calling in your soulmate, it could be perhaps that they are in a different situation, and that's why you've been doing all this waiting and wishing that they would just come back and be done with that, right? Because you want to call in your soulmate. So let's see where this goes. We're using the Love Oracles. So I'd like to know a little bit more about the playfulness here. What else do I need to know for my Sagittarius friends, please? These are really awkward to shuffle and show you how gorgeous these cards are. It says, deep in your heart, you already know the answer. Do what feels right. Right? So, once again, if you are a partner, it could be that, hey, you already know the answer. You know that perhaps your partner or yourself, you're extremely stoic and linear and you need everything to be exactly the same. But you need a little bit more playfulness in your life. You need a little bit more juice, a little bit of like progression, and to get away from the stagnation that you've been feeling. And so it's going to be really important, again, because she was dressed in blue, is to vocalize these things. It was a very gentle blue, and so I think that a gentle energy towards the Emperor to say, you know, I really kind of miss those times. Or do you remember when? A little bit of flirty, whatever that looks like to you. I don't know your life. You know your life, okay? If this is someone pertaining to you're not even remotely connected, you're eyeballing someone online, you know, deep in your heart, you already know what feels right. Shoot them a text or a message. Get a little bit flirty if that's something that you want to do, right? Also, if you're wanting to wait for someone from the past, that is a whole different issue. You know, you can wait. I am not a big advocate for waiting. I feel like someone told me once, time and then you insert your name. In this case, Griselle. Time and Griselle wait for no one. And so it just means that time keeps going, and if you know, we continue waiting for maybe a dream or a vision or an idea of what we want, and we are like an emperor. This is how I want it, this is what I want, and none other can fit those shoes. Then maybe work on manifestation. I just don't think it's a great idea to wait on people who are not in your energy field, but that's just my opinion. You are totally up and welcome to do what feels right for you, right? Because even that card says deep in your heart, you already know the answer to what feels right. If waiting feels right, then by all means. So why is the soulmate card here for my Sag friends, please? Look at that. How cool is that card? It says surrender. At times, we must surrender the old before something new can enter our lives. Let go and all will work out. Okay, so maybe even surrendering control. Maybe you're the emperor, like, I want things this way, this is who I want. Again, you're gonna, if the script fits, great. If it doesn't, you can flip the script. However, it's gonna work for you, or discard it altogether. But this is all about surrender and letting go of the old, outmoded ideas and just having to cling to things that really don't serve you anymore. Allowing some playfulness back in your life, some light into your life, and seeing where that goes. Okay, so if there's like a little crush or something like that, you're advised to, hey, just go ahead and make a little move. It's not going to hurt or kill anyone. If you absolutely have no one, then perhaps someone is looking at you as being a little bit of the emperor, like this person always wants things her way, his way, and I can't approach them. They're really unapproachable. So it might behoove you, dear Sag, to really look at yourself and think, am I approachable? Even if I'm at the grocery store wearing a mask. I get it. I hear that all the time. But you know that I smile at people deliberately, and I always get a smile back, okay? And so there is ways around things. I mean, you just have to be a little bit creative and not just stuck in how things were or how they used to be. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So I want to go ahead and use the Twin Flame deck. This is what I'm super excited about, you guys. Now, check this out. I'll bring this over so you can look at it. What? How cool is that? Okay. It's a Twin Flame deck. It is brand new, and I'm so happy it is here for the February reading. So, I would like to know for my Sag friends, what's going on for February, please? Even though this says the Twin Flame, these messages can be used however Spirit guides you to. Okay, I'm going to take this. It says, one taste is all it took. So I feel like perhaps someone is thinking about you. A little bit of an obsessive energy, right? A little bit of I'm hooked. Perhaps you guys, and this is just to let you know, these cards are a little bit on the graphic side, I guess. They don't bother me, obviously, because I own them, but I hope you're not offended, dear Sag. Not my intention. Back to the message. So one taste is all it took. And so perhaps this person, if you're married or in a situation or a relationship, all it took was like a makeout session, or that one first kiss, or that one first time that you made love. I don't know your story, you do. But you got them hooked, okay? And even if it's your person right now and like you're waiting and things are not moving, it could be the Emperor that's hooked on you. I'm getting a little bit of vertigo. I don't know if this pertains to any of you guys there, but whew. Okay. Sorry, regrouping. Okay, so one taste is all it took. What else do my Sag friends need to know about this connection or about their love life situationship? We're going to go with this guy. A tempting offer. Very cool. So even if you're married, relationship, someone can be coming through with a tempting offer. That is not your partner, by the way. So this could be perhaps, I just got a jump card. Perhaps thinking about someone that you gave attention to, affection to, or something like that. See, check this out. You can't make this up. This is actually the card that jumped. It says seduce. Your energy has been seducing me. And so even if you're not hearing about these people or from these people, even if it's people that you're, having Zoom meetings with for work, or you're going to the grocery store, or they're stalking your social media, this person is saying seduced. Your energy has been seducing me. They're thinking about you lately. If this is your current partner, they are addicted to you. Even if they might be like rigid and I want things like a certain way, there's still a way to work around that energy, I feel. Okay, so I'm getting this is a guided union. If you're in a union right now, it was a guided union. You guys, I don't believe that like every union is necessarily meant to stay. So a guided union can be even someone that was from the past, that you were guided to meet for whatever reason. And they could still be stalking you, looking through your social media, looking through old pictures. I don't know your story, obviously. But the point of the matter is I feel like we learn from everybody. And in theory, everyone learns from us, right? Okay, one more message. I lied, you jumped out, so we're taking those. What do we have here? A breakthrough. So we have a breakthrough in your story. So if there is a third person involved, who's eyeballing you, looking at you, hasn't come forward, especially if you're single, they're going to have a breakthrough. And this is awesome. This could be part of like a dark night of the soul, that they're getting in touch with their spirituality. And they're finally realizing, hey, I can't continue messing around. I need to go after what I want. If this is a breakthrough that is with your current partner or person of interest, then perhaps they're having a breakthrough as well, leaving outmoded ideas and willing to break through into a new dawn, a new day, okay? And they are dealing with internal conflict. It is very difficult for this person to move forward in a way that they're not accustomed to. And that could be a real challenge for them, but as long as they're making progress and showing you that they actually want to do something different, that's good, okay? For the rest of us that have like nothing going on, consider that these stories might be even about somebody who's eyeballing you online. It happens, you guys. It just does happen. Trust me, okay? So with that, I will leave you. Thank you so much, dear Sag, and namaste. Hi dear Sagittarius, this is Griselle with Psychic MD, and I'm here to do your February 2021 reading. So we are going to use a couple of different decks as I usually do, but this time I'm going to allow you a better visual so that way you can look and follow through with every card that I'm pulling. You can see for yourself. Some of you are interested in learning more. Some of you are just interested in looking at the decks and you know how to read them already. Others of you could care less. So I'm not really sure like what the best way to handle this is. But for now, that's how I'm going to do them, okay? So moving forward, we're going to explore what can you look forward to, actually, Sag, in the month of February. And the unexpected. What is the unexpected energy coming towards you for this month, dear Sag? Of course, we're going to look at love, and it doesn't make a difference whether you're single or in a relationship or a complicationship. Okay, we're going to address all of it. So that'll come more towards the end of the reading, unless the cards indicate that that has to be addressed sooner. So with that, let's get started.